Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
During the planning and research stage, we used many different technologies. Some of these technologies we had previously used and were used to. However, some of these technologies we were introduced to this year. Weebly is an example of a new technology that we were introduced to. Weebly is a free web hosting service that features a drag and drop website builder. We used Weebly to construct a website for our production company where we presented our planning and research. The drag and drop feature made it easier for us to structure how our website would look like. It allows you to place different page elements into place, such as text, pictures, and YouTube videos, which makes it easier to create a structure for our audience to follow when we presented our work and make it look as creative and well structured as possible. Weebly also had features that allowed us to add as many pages as we wanted to help give the website an organized look. Unlike Blogger, where everything was featured on the same page with no real organization. On these pages, it was very simple to add images. We could add buttons that could be linked to other websites and were able to link it to our YouTube videos easily. Overall, Weebly has worked in our favor and is a much better way of presenting our planning and research than Blogger was last year. The internet was a big part of our planning and research stage. Because of search engines such as Google, we were able to gather information about the horror genre easily and were able to find existing horror movies and the auxiliary text that would aid us during the planning and research stage and would also aid us during the production stages. We were also able to use Google to learn more about conventions of horror movies, such as the idea of the final girl, which we used in our trailer. We've also used Google for looking through existing posters and magazines of existing horror movies, and we analysed these posters and magazines to aid us during the production stage. They also gave us an idea of how we wanted our final poster and magazine to look like. Using Google to research famous magazines such as Empire and Total Film magazine really did help us in structuring our own magazine to look as professional as possible. As well as Google, we use the internet for YouTube. YouTube is a place where people all around the world share videos and watch videos. We created our own YouTube channel for our production company where we could upload our own videos. We uploaded many different videos from our planning and research and our evaluation and final trailer. We also used YouTube to research existing horror movie trailers. We used these trailers we found to help us in the making of our own trailers, as we were inspired by some shots they used and the conventions they used in their trailers. As well as YouTube and Google, we used a website called thefont.com to download fonts that would be featured as our movie title and our cover lines and masthead for our magazine. These fonts were easy to download and were easier to access on Photoshop. This year, some of us were also introduced to a new software called Final Cut Pro 7, which we used a lot in our planning and research stage. Using Final Cut Pro 7 in our planning and research stage would aid us in our editing stage, as we would become more familiar to the software and how it works. I had used a software called iMovie when researching about horror movie genre to create a video, so therefore I was already quite familiar with Final Cut Pro 7 as it is quite similar to iMovie. Final Cut Pro was used in editing the animatic and the audience research video. When creating the audience research, I had to use BBM, which is short for BlackBerry Messenger. I used BBM to ask questions for our audience research that would aid us in the making of our trailer, poster and magazine. Make decisions for how we produce our teaser trailer, poster and magazine. Using BBM as well as a video made our audience research look more creative. We used the Canon 600D to film for the audience research. Photoshop is a graphics editing software that became a big part of our planning and research stage. All of our group members already had some experience in using Photoshop, as we used it last year when creating our magazine. The skills we developed last year in using Photoshop aided us heavily in creating the poster and the magazine, as well as many different parts of the planning and research stage. Photoshop helped make our planning and research more creative, and therefore we were able to present our work better.